Intermittent fasting and snacking. How do these two things relate? So intermittent fasting is time restricted eating. You wait 13 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, and then you eat in this eating window. So how does snacking fit into this? So another video I talked about Dr. Robert Siways being very instrumental in helping me understand my carb and sugar addiction. And his quote is, every time you snack, it's an emotional event. I also have another video that talks about emotional eating. So basically, when we're snacking, there's lots of times there's other reasons why we're snacking. We're bored, we're angry, we're upset, we're happy, we're celebrating, we're sitting in front of the TV or watching a movie, or I mean, you go to the movies and you have popcorn. Well, you're snacking for, that whole time. So in essence, as I understood intermittent fasting, as I was learning about intermittent fasting, to understand every time food enters your mouth, your insulin goes up and says, okay, food is here. What are we going to do with it? We're going to store the extra. Let's use what we need. And so it's basically a meal. And so every time you eat, it's a meal. So thinking of sipping on your coffee that has cream and sugar in it, every time you sip is a mini meal. And I don't know, I think it was Dr. Robert Siways that said that, the average overweight person eats 12 times a day. Well, if a lot of the diets that say eat lots of mini meals, there was one diet I was on that had, eat 5 meals a day. It didn't say eat 3 meals and 2 snacks. It actually said 5 meals. You portion your meat, vegetables, fruit, whatever you're going to eat, portion it over 5 times. And supposedly that's going to help you lose weight. But as I understood about insulin, and that every time, something that has flavor and sugar and all of those things in it, you put it in your mouth, your body's saying, okay, here's a meal. Meal's here. What are we going to do with it? It's like, oh my goodness, I'm eating not 12 times a day. I'm eating 50 times a day every time I'm sipping on that double coffee that I got at the, Tim Hortons down the road. So to understand that and then think, okay, the snack is not just this innocent thing. Oh, I'm going to go snack on something. No, I'm having a mini meal. So intermittent fasting has really revolutionized my mindset on this. And so intermittent fasting isn't just intermittent fasting for me. It's also helped me understand this snacking component of my day and what I was used to. And so it's this, the terms that you're going to get used to as you learn about intermittent fasting, the eating window, time restricted eating, and then snacking and not snacking, and how important that is to just let our insulin settle down and say, okay, I'm not going to eat for 4 or 5 hours, and I'm not going to snack, and I'm not going to make my insulin do this little, roller coaster ride all day, every day. How can that be good for our bodies? And we know it isn't. There's enough scientific study out there to say this is not good for our bodies, and the inflammation is just rampant in our systems when we're making this insulin go crazy all day long by snacking. So intermittent fasting and snacking is very interlinked in my mind, and to understand them both together, it's not just this 16-8 or 18-6 window. It's what are you doing in that 6 and in that 8. In that eating window, are you also snacking 20 times? Then, you're basically nullifying that 18 hours of fasting. That's what I think, and that's how it worked for me, where I really had to deal with both issues. Not just the 18 hours, but also what am I doing in that 6? Am I eating nonstop for 6 hours? Hopefully that gives a little bit of perspective, my point of view on the snacking related to intermittent fasting. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it with a friend or a family member who could benefit from this. Thanks for watching.